and community policing. For us in Rivers, practical demand for the decentralization and depoliticization of security services Assembly to establish the Neighborhood Security Corps advancing their security. We expect our democracy to foster the economic background, geographical location, and ethnic or pains of violence and insecurity are added to the unending pressure to protect and defend the nation's unity shambles with the numerous multidimensional crises it is facing. To the national agitations for true federalism, resource control, it will be ungodly for good men to remain silent while the nation may history judge us aright. Thank you for your attention, and may God
Please, yes, Wike delivering his goodwill message at this. To criticize in this country, which makes this particular summit very, very and tranquility. The governor said that the seeming helpless the traditional rulers. He said central policing as of today is
retired
fight security concerns around the
that the traditional law institution are a support for unity and peace. As they know the local languages and of course the local conditions first in each
that's Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazo, Minister of Interior.
Your Eminence. Your Imperial Majesty. NCUI.
Inspector General of Police, and Zainako Nube. State Executive Council, Secretary to the Chairman Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers, and Chairman Coordinating Committee. Your PSS and Civil Defense Officers, members of the press, the Emir of Zulu, General Sami, Commander that. It is a great pleasure and the rest members of the council. I thank you for inviting me. I consider this special gathering an opportunity to reaffirm my resolve to work very closely with the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria to take our dear nation to the next level of national development. I must reiterate the fact that our traditional institutions are very important, not only in the security architecture, but also in governance as a whole. This August meeting is therefore coming at an auspicious time when the country is battling with all sorts of challenges, particularly those bordering on national security. We are heaving a sigh of relief over the degradation and the dismantling of the structures of Boko Haram, but we are now witnessing increased rates of kidnapping, cultism, ethnic militia activities, and the herdsmen-farmers conflict. I must therefore say that this meeting couldn't have been scheduled at a better time than this. The theme for this general meeting, and I quote, "Community policing as a catalyst to crime prevention, the role of traditional rulers," unquote, is apt and couldn't have been more appropriate in view of the lingering security and other socioeconomic challenges facing our country, and of course, the significant roles of traditional rulers in our society. There is no doubt that Nigeria is a cluster of many ethnic groups. It is therefore a great pleasure for this gathering together of all traditional rulers in the country under the umbrella of this council as an effort to reinforce the very foundation of friendship among not only traditional rulers, but also our various communities. It is therefore hoped that this friendship among traditional rulers and the attendant dividends it attracts will flow down to their respective communities and create an opportunity for dialogue that enhances ethnic communication while promoting national cohesion and identity. This will go a long way to stemming intertribal and intercommunal conflicts, ethnic rivalry, suspicion, distrust, animosity, aggression, and conflict. It is hoped that being members of this great body would afford the traditional rulers opportunities to ensure partnership for growth among their communities, to promote trade and form alliances among themselves for the protection of their people's lives, property, dignity, rights, and freedoms. This council will also serve as a great opportunity for cultural interactions and national integration. It will curb the lack of understanding of other ethnic groups and their respective cultures. It is hoped that through such cultural interactions, communities will come to learn more of each other's customs and traditions, while helping one another eliminate those customs and traditions that have no bearing on our well-being and the preservation of human dignity, rights, and freedoms. It is worth noting that any government that relegates traditional rulers to the backgrounds would end up jeopardizing its efforts at taking governance to the grassroots. The formation of this body is a huge step in the right direction, and this government will provide the necessary support towards ensuring the success of the lofty vision of the Council, looking at the roles it has played so far and will continue to play in an advisory capacity and a mechanism through which the effect of governance can reach the people at the grassroots easily. With this council in place, it will now be easier for government to get necessary assistance in intervening cases of any fallout. It is our hope that the council will support the government in its efforts towards development, improved standard of living, quality education, industrialization, poverty alleviation, protection of lives and property, promotion of rule of law, respect and preservation of individual rights and freedom, as well as reorientation and enlightenment of the people at the grassroots. However, I am saddened and very worried about the persistent killings and kidnappings happening in our country, especially the wastage of innocent lives in different parts of the country, by whatever means it is called, which is sad and particularly condemnable. I have therefore directed that no effort be spared in identifying and bringing to justice all those who have been involved in these killings. I have earlier directed the Chief of Army Staff to relocate to Borno State to ensure that the activities of Boko Haram was brought to an end. Likewise, I have directed the Inspector General of Police to relocate to Benue State to ensure that the increasing recent killings are not only contained, but that those involved are brought to justice. By whatever name they are called, these acts are criminal violence in and themselves evil, and there seems to be deliberate efforts to sustain fear on the citizenry of our beloved nation and to progressively overwhelm the rest of the country by murdering innocent citizens and state officials, destroying properties and taking women and children as hostages. These actions amount to declaration of war on our peaceful coexistence and a deliberate attempt to undermine the authority of the Nigerian state in order to threaten her sovereignty and territorial integrity. As a responsible government, we will neither tolerate nor condone this. All troublemakers, criminals, violent entrepreneurs should be ready to face the consequences of their acts. While the federal government is doing everything possible to tackle the root causes of crime and violence in Nigeria, we expect citizens to respect and obey the laws governing our society. It is therefore imperative to support this concept of community policing in order to guarantee its success in maintaining law and order, without which our efforts at attracting investments that would drive development would be jeopardized. I want to reassure you, and through you, the entire citizenry of this country, that while efforts at persuasion and dialogue will continue, the federal government have a sacred duty to ensure the security and well-being of all people and protect the sovereign integrity of our country, and will therefore, on no account, shy away from doing whatever becomes necessary to provide the fullest possible security for citizens of this country they choose to reside. We have a duty to stand firm against those who threaten our sovereignty, the sovereignty of the Nigerian state. Our will is strong because our faith lies in the indivisibility of Nigeria. No matter what it takes, we will win this war against terror. We are convinced that with your royal support and prayers, we shall overcome these challenges together. We will restore every part of our country to the path of peace, growth, and development. Before declaring the General Assembly open, I want to assure your Royal Highnesses and Majesties that my doors are open to receive counsel and suggestions from the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria. I remain committed to you and to the Nigerian state to ensure peace, security, and sustainable development. I shall stand firm to do my very best in delivery of electioneering promises. Permit me, therefore, to most humbly declare the 9th General Assembly open. And thank you all for this honor and wish you successful deliberations. This is the message of the President. Thank you very much.
His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, they are represented by the Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambanzo, expressing his thoughts and support for this summit, which he says is a reaffirmation of the President's commitment to work with traditional rulers, and that it is timely and couldn't have come on a more appropriate and conducive time considering the security situation in the country. He said this will also encourage national cohesion. Good step also in the right direction it is. It is a mechanism through which government can reach the people at the grassroots. He says the wastage of life and property through whatever name called is totally unacceptable, and of course that calls for war on our peaceful coexistence, and that government will never tolerate it. He finally says that the doors are open for more deliberations, and of course more of which coming on board. Stay tuned.
On behalf of the entire traditional rulers of our dear country, I want to thank our President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Muhammadu Buhari, ably represented by the Minister of Interior, and also thank again His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, also known as Mr. Project. We want more projects like this duly executed on behalf of our dear nation, because this is one of your successful projects. Also, the Inspector General of Police of our dear nation, we thank you for your time and your beautiful keynote address. I want to thank the Secretary to the Federal Government of Nigeria and also the National Security Advisor. We're very grateful for all your input, and obviously you've thrown that challenge to us, we, the traditional rulers of this country. If you listen carefully with the message of His Eminence, you will realize that every speaker took that trend. The truth be told, we shouldn't be deceiving ourselves any longer in this country. there is tension in our land. Let us call a spade a spade. And the onus is on we, the traditional rulers. It's about time for all of us to know our roles and responsibilities in this country. Some sections are aggrieved, some feel oppressed, some are not very happy. It is very important for all of us, we traditional rulers, because we are natural rulers of this country. We are stakeholders in this great nation. Our diversity is our strength. Let us all come together to take up this challenge so that the generation yet unborn will not continue to blame us, because we are the one that will carry the responsibilities if anything should go wrong in this country. It's about time for all of us to get very serious, that we should know that the stake and the interest of this country lies in our hands. Let us put politics aside. I repeat, let us put politics aside. Let us apply sense of right and wrong in everything we do. Let us tell one another the truth, the blatant truth, nothing but the truth. His Eminence also reiterated this fact. It's about time for all of us to engage in peer review. It's about time for each and every one of us to know that every office that we hold as natural rulers across our various diverse culture, heritage, and tradition, it has a direct impact on the formative years of our youths. It has the direct impact on how they will carry out criminality. The responsibility lies on our head. Nobody will ask us. Our Creator will ask us. The generation yet unborn will ask us, what have we done? We should stop that blame game, throwing the responsibility back to government. When last did we come together to issue a joint communique to support government? Constitutionally, they are only there for 8 years. We are there forever. We should all come together, join hands together, and make this country work. Let us stop talking the talk. Let us now all join hands to walk the talk. God bless this country. God bless our various kingdoms. And God bless the people of Nigeria. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Yes, we're gradually coming to the end of the first phase of this program before the traditional rulers will go into the actual plenary for which we're all here gathered. You heard the Imperial Majesty, the Oba Adeyeye Nito Ogusi, the Ojaja II himself. He also the co-chairman of NCTRN, talking to her. That was like a solemn message to all and sundry in this country. I think the time has come for all of us to begin to wonder, to begin to think very seriously about security concerns in this country. In fact, one woman told me that the earlier we fought the challenges in this country, the better for the women. Because when men continue to die, they have social implications. The women can't also get husbands. I think it's a serious matter. We need to do much, much more. Mena, you're a woman. What would you say to that? That somebody has said that the killing of men in this country is a very serious social issue for which the women are not very happy out. What would you say?
Exactly. As a woman, if the men are not there, how do we make a nation? How do we even protect our household? How do we protect nationhood, familyhood, which is the smallest part of the nation? So our men need to be alive, strong, and working to be able for us to work together, put our hands on deck to ensure that we have a very solid foundation with which all of us can coexist.
Thank you, man. I will be listening to the 9th General Assembly of the NCTRN Summit happening live here in Port Harcourt. And I think we've been bringing live pictures. We're gradually coming to the end of this program. Let's now listen to the national anthem. into the 9th General Assembly of the NCTRN, which
Thank
has
you.
taken place right here in Port Harcourt. It's been fun. It's been worth the while, and we want to believe that the outcomes of this summit will be watched that will change the trajectory as we fight security challenges in this country. Mina, you may have to find the final comments as we wrap up this live, Obi.
Thank you so much, Ogechi. I want to thank you out there for finding time to be with us right here. I'm sure all that we have brought to you will have one or two more impacts that will help all of us put our hands together to make it a successful country. On behalf of the entire outside broadcast crew from Port Harcourt Network Center, I am Mina Adobe Kobasi. Thanking you and wishing you the very best of the remaining day.